All right, thanks everyone. Head coach Ben Olsen. Ben, your thoughts on that victory? Dynamo undefeated in the last 4 now, and big 2-0 rivalry win at home tonight.
Oh, that's a nice way to put it. Look, wins have been hard to come by this year, and so certainly going to enjoy this one. I thought we played very well, in particular in the second half. First half was back and forth. We had a couple looks, good looks. They had a couple good looks. But this one feels good. Feels good for the guys. We're working hard. It's been an emotional start, and as I said, it's hard to get the 3 points. And what I like about it is, we're at a 1-0 lead, and we continue to go and search for the second, and we found some quality to get the second. And that's something that has not been the case and allowed us to exhale a little bit more down the stretch. It's been 1-0, winning goals by 1. If we're doing it and teams are coming back. So we have to go and punish teams as they get a little riskier once we get a lead. So that was a really nice part of the game. And yeah.
All right, we'll start with Juan up front here.
Hello, Ben Olsen. Congratulations on the win. Linger, 2 games, 2 goals. Has he been what you guys have expected to be so far?
And one note on Linger, he's the 4th player in Dynamo history to score in his first 2 appearances. So.
You have expectations of players coming in. We do a lot of work on these guys. The scouts, there's no shortage of data on any player you bring in. The world gets very small. And so we had an idea when we brought him in that he could get on the end of things, and he was calm in front of goal and could put up some numbers.
Awesome.
We also know he's going to arrive in the box and be a number, an extra number that we've needed. And you have to see it. He's the type of guy that we need for this group right now. And I'm thrilled for him. He's a great guy, and he's fit in very quickly.
Can you tell me a little bit about Brooklyn Rain's performance today? He's starting to get more minutes. It seems like you guys are starting to trust him more. What has he shown you guys recently to win that playing time?
We'll look at it back. But my first instincts was that was as good as I've seen him play for this club, and that's he hasn't had a game. He's been had a couple here, but he had a little bit of a delay there from being with the 20s, and so now he's getting some rhythm and offensively clean, advanced the ball, showed some real power driving and making good decisions in possession. But out of position, he made a lot of little plays, a lot of tackles, a lot of duels that he won, and that's a real game from him, and hopefully he can continue to grow.
Awesome. Thank you.
We'll go across the front here.
Congratulations on the win. That first half, it seemed like they were trying to play long ball, just kind of catch you guys off guard. And what happened? You came. I guess the second half, you told them something because they came out strong. Your team came out strong.
Well, no, there's no secrets to dealing with direct play. I mean, it's these are open balls that we have to anticipate in the right way and make sure we have the right numbers. And again, the one that goes direct down the center that should cost us a goal, frankly, that's not good enough. And that's just it's a pretty routine play that we have to deal with. So we got away with it. Bond made a huge save there, and I thought he played very well. He gets under. He doesn't get a lot of praise tonight, but he should, because he kept us in that game. He kept that thing 0-0.
You have new signings coming in, it seems like, and talk about that. You have another new signing coming in.
It's great. It's great. It brings competition. It brings depth. It brings what we need right now in this moment. And hopefully these profile players are coming in are the right ones, and both mentality and how they're going to enhance this group. So, we're slowly but surely. I said this kind of next part to the summer is about incorporating some of these new guys and seeing what this next version of ourselves look like. Ortiz is in market, and he's going to train all week. So again, it's one after the other. Hopefully Dwayne Holmes can get injured or healthy after that, and then Quinones and Anali, and but incorporating them in is going to be a challenge, but one we're excited about because they're all good players.
You know, it's early on in the season, and trying to get trying to keep that enthusiasm going up until the summertime and then the fall. How do you try to keep that enthusiasm with the players?
Well, each season's different in how you go about that, but I will say some of this fresh blood that's coming in gives the group some energy. And again, I think it's very, very healthy to have some more tension about who's playing and who's competing for these starting spots, because I think it raises the level of training, and I think overall, I think players actually want that in their environment.
Come back across the front here to David. Yep.
Coach, congratulations on the win. How much do you think this week of preparation helped today? It was a really good performance.
Yeah, I think. Look, we didn't give up easy goals, and we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. And usually, when we don't do that, we give ourselves a chance and we get a result. So, as we get into the game at 0-0, 15, 20 minutes in, I think we settle down. We feel comfortable. But again, this game could have went a different way. They got one or two really good looks in the first half, and they stick that. It's an uphill battle. So thankfully, we made the plays that matter today. Got in there 0-0. I thought the adjustments at halftime from the coaching staff was, I think they were the right ones, and I think it helped us not be on the defensive as much in the second half. We took care of the ball, and we made the best of our chances.
And then the clean sheet, I want to also emphasize that. Last week, Femi, a young player gives up that penalty, and this week he gets it with his defensive line of clean sheet.
I thought Femi was great tonight. And he had a tough week last weekend. And I think we challenged him in a way that we haven't challenged him this year. And it was a little bit of, all right, it's time to step up now, okay? I know you've gotten 8 games on your belt. Like, we're going to put you over the coals a little bit now this week. And for him to respond in that way says a lot about him.
And last one for me, how hard does this make it for you, right? You're going to add new players, right? Is it easy to just say I'll sub in 1-1, or how hard is that?
Yeah, that's fine with me. That type of hard is good. If you have players that are performing, and those conversations with players that's the good hard.
All right, we'll go back to Chris here, and then we'll jump over. No, this is Chris. Yep.
Thank you. Hello, congrats, first of all. First time 2 DPs have scored in the same game in your time at the club. How nice is it to know that you have 2 high-caliber DPs in your starting lineup?
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but sure, it's great. Look, to have success, you need your best players playing at a high level. It's that simple. If in this league in particular, because of some of the valuation or the DPs are kind of top heavy in the price tag, they got to be performing. It's that simple. And if they are, you can. It's a very, very positive thing.
And kind of adding to the question about the shutout, how has Bond been acclimated so quick to the scene?
I think just his experience. Again, he's English speaking. He's been in our league, and I think he is just a kind of plug and play type of goalkeeper because he's been traveled and he's got a lot of games under his belt.
All right, thank you. Congrats.
We'll go back here. Yep.
Ben, juggling a lot of variables, both incoming new players, questionable players, injuries. You've got these new acquisitions coming in. Previously, you've mentioned one of the most important acquisitions that you've had has been the person of Josh Wolf. In what way did you find that his input helped contribute to the win tonight tactically?
Are you from Austin?
I am. Pool reporter for Austin.
Well, it's a new team. I mean, it's $30 million new players for that group, and Josh is a dear friend, first and foremost. I've known him since I was 17. I've played against him, Olympics, World Cup. We've shared the field, and our lives have been very parallel in both playing and coaching. So we share a lot of experiences together. So that's the starting point. There's trust, there's love there, and then on top of that, we're very lucky to have him because he's one of the smartest guys in the game of soccer I've ever met. And with that, of course, he knows them very well. But, again, it's a new team. It's a new coach, and it wasn't, he didn't necessarily have the magic sauce, but he kind of always has the magic sauce. He sees every opponent in a very clear way. And I thought, whether it's Josh, Juan Guara, Aurelian, Tim Hanley, Kenny Bundy with set pieces, they all did a great job this week.
Please tell him hi from me and Phil West.
You got it.
But the other thing I wanted to ask is, looking at the progression of the game itself, what were those opportunities that you saw? There was the Danny Pereira injury. Where did you see holes to exploit that you feel led to those 2 goals?
Well, they were undermanned. We're living undermanned right now from the get-go, so I don't feel bad for them. But look, Vasquez, and Pereira coming out of that lineup does change things for them, and they kind of a new structure with the 2 boys on the wings starting together. And I thought they caused us quite a few fits. But I think once we settled down and started to play, and having kind of the bravery to play in our box centrally, I thought we did a good job of breaking them down. And I think that was that, and our height of pressure was a little bit of an adjustment. They were really moving us side to side in the first half, and it cost us a lot of energy, and it shrunk us down. And our height of the wingers started to be a little higher, and I thought we made it more difficult for them to build the game, and I think we just took care of the ball. So nothing necessarily specific I want to go into, this is what we thought their weaknesses were. But they're a good team. They're tough to score on.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
There's Chris at the back.
Hi, Ben. It's Chris, ASN Sports TV. B, congratulations, 3 points tonight. So I just want to ask, what is the key to keeping Olsen FC from creating chances tonight, and how proud are you of your defensive effort?
I'm proud of it, but we were a little bit lucky to keep a clean sheet. With a big save from Jonathan there. They had a few really good services that deep, especially on our right side, that were very dangerous, that all they needed was a redirection. So there's still a lot of work to do. And as I said, I thought the adjustments the team made at halftime and the coaching staff helped to not sink as low, because they're dangerous. Service from both sides is nasty, and they've got some real speed in transition. So they're a good team. I see why they've gotten as many points as they have.
And my final question is, how important was this win for building momentum heading into the next stretch of games?
May's a beast, and they're gonna come fast and furious. We go away to LA, I think, next, huh? Yeah, LAFC away. We'll see. But so saying that, it's a very important 3 points.
Okay, one last question. So generally now, we know during the beginning of the season, we complain about players going on injury, needed players.
I wasn't complaining.
No, okay, sorry. Rather, talking about the problems the team was facing gradually. But now that you've got these players, can you now say that your structure of the team is gradually getting, the pieces are being put together?
I think we have a long way to go, both with players and also kind of our who we are and how we're going to grow. But I like this group right now. I like the additions that have come in, and I think Ortiz is going to add something. And but it's also nice that we get caught up in talking about players coming in, maybe sometimes too much. It's like, because there's a lot of focus on the team right now and guys that are doing well, and guys don't want to lose their spots. Guys like Femi, guys like Blake, these guys, this is opportunity for them. Kowalczyk, these guys don't want to be out of the lineup, and I think that's healthy in the long term for us.
Thank you very much.
I know we have one on Zoom. Anything else in the room? All right, we'll come up here, Haley. In the middle, up here, second row.
Knowing that it was a derby today, what was the message to the guys with such a physical and mental game?
Yeah, just that. You said it.
Yeah.
Anytime we play Austin, it's a lot of fun. The energy's high, it's combative. There's some angst on both sides. It's an emotional game, and it's so just make sure they're prepared for that. But a lot of these guys have seen this. We've played them. A lot of these guys have been through this before and understand the intensity of these games. And we'll see them again. It'll be another really close, tough game when we have to go up to Austin.
Oh, we have one more in the room at the back there.
Hello, Ben. Congrats on the win. I recently spoke with Brooklyn Reigns, and he mentioned that I asked him what the turning point was in that 4-game unbeaten streak, and he mentioned that it was personality and character. That you have been very honest with them, and that has helped a lot. What do you think was the turning point in this 4-game unbeaten streak?
Some of it was figuring out who we are. The first couple games is, I think if we're guilty of anything, is it from a coaching staff early? I thought maybe we were a little too aggressive in how we wanted to go about it. Maybe we weren't ready for that. So I think over the first month, we've identified what tweaks we have to make tactically to give ourselves a chance. But we've still been a good defensive team. But the goals we give up are just big chances. And I keep using the word we shoot ourselves in the foot. Most of them are turnovers, and they're giveaways. And some of them are in the box giveaways for easy goals. So when we take that out of it, right, I look at the stats. I think any game we've not given up a goal in the first 10, 15 minutes, we've got something out of it. So sometimes it just comes down to that stuff of being really hard to beat, and and to do that you have to have a little personality and a little bit of savvy to start games. But we're in an okay spot. The win helps. It puts us at least moving up maybe, and not so low in the table. But we got a lot of work to go. We're gonna get a lot of points.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Diego on Zoom for last one. Diego.
I mentioned Brooklyn before, and Brooklyn had a very good game. I thought maybe his best game to date. Jack, I'm glad you mentioned Jack. Jack was really solid. We know what he can give us offensively. The ask of Jack is to keep pushing defensively and get his angles right and get his physicality right and win some duels. And that was his best performance from that side. So he's certainly growing in that position. I think it's a good position for him in this moment. So he'll keep growing. I think him and Griffin are they're growing in their relationship over there on the right side, and it's becoming pretty dangerous. Well, you lead in different ways. Right? We don't really have one true alpha with the group in the way we had it with Hector. So it's more collective, and but we still have guys with experience that you can lead by your performance, just by putting up a really good performance when the lights come on. You can do it in the locker room, and I've talked about different individuals doing it in different ways here with this group we have. So I don't know. Franco's a warrior. I thought he had a very good game tonight. The reality is nobody had a bad game. Nobody had a poor game. Everybody showed up and played to their ability. And if you do that, we have a chance.